All right, guys. We're just I'm Ryan here with my cousin,
I'm Alexis.
and we are quite the connoisseurs of scary games. So we're just gonna be talking about three scary games each that we really recommend to be playing over October, kind of around Halloween time, spooky. And we're gonna recommend three games and one thing, like the standout point why we think you should play them. So, what's your first one?
Is it like my top number one or just one out of order?
Any order.
Okay, well, I think these are all very good games in their own unique way, but I think I'm going to start out with Silent Hill 2.
Ooh, which is the soundtrack we're listening to right now. If you can hear it in the background, why? I've never played it. Why do you want me to play it?
Well, first off, it's a, very classic. I mean, everyone and their mother has, heard of or knows someone that's either owned it or played it, but I really like it. The soundtrack is really good. And it's a really classic, it's a classic game. It's, it gives you, it's scary, it immerses you.
Mm-hmm.
The storyline, it throws you for a loop. Like, I remember the first time I played it or whatever, played it all the way through, and at the end I was just I finished the game and I kind of set my controller down and kind of stared off into space, like how in the office when they look into the camera. Like, I did that.
Yeah.
It threw me for a loop. And it's one of those games, I guess nowadays a lot of games have them, but back then when they made this, because I think this was made in early 2000s, late 90s, it had multiple endings depending on how you played it.
That's so underrated. Games need to bring that back.
I know.
Enough games are doing it.
Yeah, because obviously it has the true ending or whatever, but yeah, no, all the different endings that you can get in the game, especially because I know a lot of games of this genre, and when they depending on how many times you've played the game will have different endings for how you play it, which is really cool too.
That's really neat. I need to sit down and play through that one. I've watched playthroughs, but I have not sat down played it all. I played bits here and there, but yeah. And one of mine, I'm gonna stick with Silent Hill and Silent Hill 3, which you actually got me for Christmas. Don't even know how long ago. Long ago. And it's as far as I know, that's my favorite of the games. I love the character you play as. It's just super interesting to me, and the monsters are just terrifying.
I know that's one thing about the earlier Silent Hill games that they're super. So as far as I know, I think Silent Hill 2 and 3 are the only ones that really do this. I've played Silent Hill 4. I haven't beat it just because it's kind of they put Silent Hill on the game, but it wasn't really a Silent Hill game.
Mm-hmm.
They pretty much a lot of the older anything after 3. I feel like they kind of just slapped the name onto it to make money.
Yeah.
But with Silent Hill 2 and 3, I really like the fact that each monster is kind of tailored to the main character.
It is cool. It's all based on their psyche and stuff that's happened to them. It's super interesting. But I really like the third for its location. Isn't it a mall or something?
Yeah, she's in a mall, or she starts out the first sequence is you're in the
fair,
the nightmare
the carnival or whatever
thing, yeah, the nightmare version of the theme park, and then obviously you get to a point where she isn't there anymore, and then they're in a mall, which I thought is that's something that's I find I really like about the third game, is that they just take an ordinary place like a mall and just make it so terrifying.
Yeah, it oozes atmosphere. It's so creepy. It's just definitely one to check out. And second one, what would you say?
Fatal Frame 2.
Again, another one I haven't played.
It's if you want to borrow, they're very expensive right now because all the Silent Hill 2 and 3 and the Fatal Frame games, those right now are very expensive on eBay and stuff like that.
Never been opened or even opened?
Even opened. Complete with just the album artwork, the manual, and a decent disc. They're very expensive because I think the used game market, since gaming's kind of up right now, a lot of people are seeing the value in these games. Luckily for me, not to gloat, but since I was already into these games before they kind of made a comeback, I have all the Fatal Frame games that are available on PS2 in America. I have Silent Hill 2, 3, and 4. I have the case and the manual for Silent Hill Origins.
Oh,
I have
man.
no idea where the disc went.
Just gone.
Like, I'm pretty sure I lost it when I was still living in Everett somehow. But
Everett took it.
don't go to Everett. They'll beat you up and take your video games. But no, yeah, Fatal Frame 2, I really like it. The gameplay is very unique. For those that don't know, the game starts out with two sisters. They're just kind of hanging out in this forest, just by this river or whatever, and then one of the sisters kind of like slinks off, and then they all of a sudden, both of them get teleported back to this old feudal, I'm not sure if it's feudal era, but like very olden times, village, and I'm pretty sure, I think it's Japan, I'm not 100% sure, but they're transported back, and they have to be able to combat the ghosts that are trying to hurt them in the city. They get a camera, and essentially you're exorcising the ghosts.
Okay.
And it's just like, I really like that, because it's like, I feel like that's a very unique thing to, like, that's a very unique battle feature, and then also, it has, like, you can upgrade the camera and stuff like that.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, you pick up certain, like, shutters and, like, lenses throughout the game, and then depending on how well you take pictures, you get spirit points, and then you can upgrade, like, how big, like, the hit circle is in the middle of this camera. Yeah, and then the storyline's very unique. It's very, I don't think I've ever heard of it, pretty much. It's just two sisters way back when. Whenever twins are born, they're used as sacrifices to appease the abyss to hell. That's in the that's in the town. But then one time, these twins, like, one of them didn't want to do it. Like, she didn't want to have to, because what the ritual is that the older twin, which is, I don't understand the logic, but like the older twin, which is the twin that came out last, so technically the younger twin, strangles, like chokes out the other one, and then they become one, and then they throw the body into the one that died into the abyss, and then the one that died becomes a butterfly or whatever. But the twin was like, I don't want to kill my sister. That's whack.
Yeah.
And so they were all like, we're gonna bounce. But then one of the sisters, the sister that didn't care if she became a butterfly or not, got caught, and the other one just kind of left. And then so they went to go kill her and throw her into the abyss, but since it was done wrong, it put the village into, like, permanent darkness and evil, and everyone died and stuff like that. It's a lot. I would recommend it to check it out. It's a lot. The storyline is great. They even it was such a hit that they actually remade it in HD on I'm not sure if it's Wii or Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they remade it, but for whatever reason, they didn't bring it over to here. They didn't bring it to North America, but they brought it to Europe. So it's like, it's in English, everything's fine. All they would have to do essentially is just unregion lock the games and
where
the
you
systems.
need one of those consoles with the actual region, the different.
Yeah, but
that's
it's like
not good.
But yeah, but they remade it into HD, and they also, instead of because since it was made like early 2000s, it's how it has like the fixed camera angles.
Yeah.
And in the updated Wii version, they actually have it an over the shoulder camera, which
That's
is really
cool.
And in the new version, they have, because also the original one that I'm talking about for PS2, it has multiple endings as well.
Mm-hmm.
But the newer one also has multiple endings, and they updated, like, they even added a few extra ones.
That's neat that they actually took the time to do that. Like, that's...
Yeah,
games don't do that anymore.
The Fatal Frame franchise I love it so much. It's just such a good franchise. Like, usually when they make sequels to games, they're not good sometimes, especially with Silent Hill as as an example. But no, like the Fatal Frame 1 through 3 are really good. And then I know they made a Fatal Frame 4, but it was only made in Japan. But then they made a fifth one and released it on Wii U for English. Like, you could go download it right now, but it's digital release only, or you can get like a special edition physical copy, but that's like hundreds of dollars.
Okay.
But maybe we'll have to watch it and review it sometime.
Might have to. Does the Wii U version, is it like the gamepad is the camera?
I think it's on the TV and use the gamepad as the camera. I'm pretty sure.
If that is, I would probably have to get that like instantly, because that That would be such a cool mechanic.
I'll have to check. We'll have to check on it after
Yeah.
after we're done doing this.
Yeah, I really want to now. But yeah, my second one I'm gonna recommend, my second game. Still teetering. I think Outlast 1, just the base game. I love it. It's so good, and to me that's the best game that's had like no combat, it's just run and hide and get away. That's the game that to me has perfected that style of gameplay. It's like everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Amnesia." It's like, no, Amnesia was like an overreaction to not having survival horror for so long.
Yeah, essentially, starving someone for so long and then giving them like bread crust, they're gonna act like it's a 4-course meal.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say it. Amnesia's not good.
I think when it first came out, I would I think I watched this one guy like play it, but I don't really I've never actually like played it.
Yeah, when I tried to play it, I don't know why, but it has no atmosphere. And you can like run around this castle mansion place, and it's just like there's nothing. You just run around. It's like, oh, there's the thing. I'll just go away from him. It's like it's not scary to me. I don't know why, but that's why I definitely pick Outlast 1. Outlast 2's alright. Whistleblower's really good, but if you had to get one, definitely get the base game Outlast. Outlast is just... The music is also incredible in that game. Like, oof. I find myself just listening to the soundtrack when I'm trying to get inspired for ideas and stuff, and it's just pop in that soundtrack, listen to it, and the music in that game is like... Yeah, I'd recommend that for the music for sure.
It's just I think thinking about it, thinking that listening to the soundtrack, that just gives me anxiety because it's such a good game.
Right? Yeah, and all the tracks are like tied with some moment you had in the game where some dude was like looking for you. You're under a bed waiting for him to leave the room so you can get up and leave. But he's not doing that. It's creepy. It's really creepy. Definitely a good game. Check it out. What is your final game?
I'm gonna have to go with Clock Tower 3 from Capcom.
When did that come out?
I think probably early 2000s, I believe. It's it's similar to Outlast, kind of. It's a run and hide game, but the boss battles are you actually are, fighting or whatever. But so the game starts out with you play as a 15-year-old girl named Alyssa, and she's at a boarding school, and then she gets this weird note from her mom that's like, hey, don't come home. Just stay where you are. Do not come home at all by any means. And then Alyssa's like, well, okay, well, I guess I gotta go home. So she bounces, of course, in regular, horror game fashion and goes home. And then this guy is greets her while she's in her house, and he's like, what's up? He's a really creepy old guy, and she's just like, who are you? What are you doing with my mom? And he's just kind of like, oh, in all due time, I'll tell you, and or whatever. And then she's kind of walking around her house trying to figure out what the hell happened. And then she somehow gets transported to this other world, and she's transported. The first world she gets transported to, I think, is World War One, London or something like that.
Oh, that's right. That one has not time travel, but it's she goes to different eras or something. Right?
Yeah. And so essentially what she finds out eventually is that she's apparently some specific kind of bloodline that help spirits essentially find peace.
Mm-hmm.
And the peak of her powers are on the day of her approaching her 15th birthday, which she is. And she so she goes to the World War One era, and you can help these other kind of side quest ghosts, find peace. But the main thing is that she's trying to help this little girl who was killed during that time find peace or whatever. And each era has a main boss that stalks you essentially.
That's cool. Through the whole level?
Yeah, through the whole level. And then you can have certain points where you can go hide.
Mm-hmm.
In the World War One era, she goes into this jewelry tailor shop, and she can hide behind this sheer curtain. But if the enemy gets too close to you for a long period of time, your panic meter gets full, and then you will get out. Your character will forcibly exit.
Ugh,
Yeah.
that's stressful.
Yeah, and then you can also you get holy water, which you can spray on them, which stops the enemy for like 5 seconds, so you can run. But yeah, it's if your panic meter gets too full, if you're like, not hiding, your Alyssa will become uncontrollable. Like she'll start running and then stop, and you're like trying to like press go 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 go, but she'll stop and like be like shaking and stuff like that. And if you get hit while she's in the panic mode, you die.
Oh, that's a really interesting mechanic for a game.
I really like it, yeah. And then during the boss battles or whatever, she gets arrows that she shoots at them, and then like if you like hold up the arrow long enough, or you power it up long enough, then like you can get them to like stay in place. Even they try to come get you, but then they get like pulled back by the arrow. And I really like it. I've beaten that game. It was very hard.
Is it?
It's very like the bosses, like each one gets a little bit harder, but the final boss, boy,
Just brutal.
yeah. Like I was hours.
Ugh. That can be fun though. Would you replay it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Definitely, even though it's hard. Now it's probably easier because you understand it a little better.
Yeah, it's a very unique game. I really like the hiding function. I feel like that's like, I don't know. It's like I feel like it's really immersive, especially because it's like, in real life, it's like, if someone's trying to hurt you, it's like most normal people. I mean, I know who I am as a person. I probably wouldn't be going back and fighting. I would probably be trying to hide.
Yeah.
So it's like, I makes sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I need to check those games out too. Those look really good.
I have them all, so you can borrow them.
We're gonna have to play them one day. It'd be a lot of fun. And my last one, it's recent, but I feel like I've had enough time with it to where it can be my I recommend this in Resident Evil 7, just because I've already played through it 5 times, and I just keep going over and over, and I have yet to grow bored of the game. Always in the mood to play it, and it's the right amount of creepy, and the exploration was seriously just amazing. It was just the track we're listening to is really good, and I apologize, but the just the exploration of that game is so perfect with the balance between there's an enemy in the vicinity that you're in, you have ammo for it, but not enough to kill them all, and I just thought the game was balanced exquisitely. It's so good.
From the one person that I watched play it, I don't know if it was. We played a little bit to here.
We played a little.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's a really good game. I got something that I would probably if I had. I guess Sam has a Xbox One, but I myself would probably buy it.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like it. I don't know why. It keeps growing on me more and more. And I haven't been that big into Resident Evil. I can't even play the fixed camera angle ones.
I can't do ones with tank controls.
No, it was just no, thank you.
It's way too it's just I can't do it.
No, I can't either. It's just my thumbs do not cooperate. It's turn, aim, it just doesn't work. I just can't do that. And then there was 4 and 5. I'm not even gonna count 6 or Revelations or any of the newer ones, but then 4 and 5, and those were kind of the same, where it's you walk around over the shoulder and then you aim. Can't walk while you're aiming, and you kind of shoot people. And the new ones in first person, you just drastically slow down when you aim anything. But yeah, there's a bunch of cool little mechanics I didn't even know were in the game. If you block and duck, you have a higher chance of dodging the attack. And I was I didn't even know if you duck, you can dodge attacks. Or I thought it was just you have the hitbox, and if they hit it, you're good. But no, if you duck, you can avoid stuff. And I was
That's cool.
Good mechanics. Yeah, I recommend that game as well. And I think that's it for this one. 3 games we recommend each.
Mm-hmm.
And why we think they're so bueno. Have a nice day, everyone. We're going to catch you next time. All right, bye.